Hello and welcome, Sudoku friends, to a hard Sudoku puzzle. I think this also is from China, but I'm not sure where it comes from. I got it on a stack of photocopies and it's labeled hard and it's labeled with a target solution time of 32 minutes. I never look at the target times. I solve Sudokus for fun. I don't do it for speed. I know lots of people like to compete, and I'm not a really competitive person. I solve Sudokus for fun and I enjoy the process of solving, even if it takes a while. So, that out of the way, let me look at. Oh, I also should say that I do plan an upcoming trip to start in about 10 or 14 days. I will prepare a series of Sudoku videos that will be released from YouTube at the rate of once a day while I'm away. So you are not going to suffer from lack of Sudokus from me. Big joke, I know. So the two ones here block over here, and we have a one blocking up here. So this is a one. We got the first digit, which is always nice. And we got a couple of threes blocking over here, and we got the three blocking down here. So this is a three. We got a couple of nine candidates over here. We got a couple over here as well. I know lots of people frown upon just simple caveman style counting, but whatever solves the puzzle is good for me. We need to find a 1, 2, 8, and a 9 for these empty squares in the bottom row. There's a 1, 8, and a 9 all staring down at this corner sill, which therefore must be a 2. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Now these have to be a 1, 8, and a 9 here. We got a 9 in this box. That makes this a 9. And these now have to be a 1 and an 8, and we have a 1 blocking here. So this is an 8 and this is a 1. So what does that leave me? Well, 4, 5, and a 6, I believe, for these squares here. There's a 5 and a 6 here, so this must be a 4. And these are now a 5 and a 6. We have a 5 in the row, so this is a 6 and this is a 5, if I'm not mistaken. 5 goes here or here now, and we got 6 coming down here, so one of these is a 6. One of these must be a 9. Lots of must be, I know, but that's how I help myself remember. We got a couple of 9s here and they block over here. We got the 9 coming down blocking here, so this is a 9. Do we have any other easy digits? What about over here? A 2, 3, 4, and a 7. 4 here, 7 here, oh, 7 here, so one of these must be a 7. And this could also be a 7, I know. Oh, but hang on, we got a 7 blocking here, and we got a 7 blocking here, so one of these must be a 7, right? And that means that one of these must be a 7. I could use a couple more 2s to help me complete this grid, but those are the conditions. Oh, There's a 5 and a 5 here blocking up here, right? And there's a 5 blocking over here. So this is an easy 5. I just didn't spot it before. Now we got to have a 5 up here in one of these squares. And since we still need to find a 5 for column 2, and the 5 blocks here and the 5 blocks here, we know that this must be a 5. We got 5 and 5 blocking over here. We got this 5 blocking here. So this is 5. And now we got a 5 here, 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 and here, which I can't resolve just yet. One of these must be a 6. I don't know if I mentioned that before, or was I talking about the 7s? Either way, the 6 blocks here, right? And the 6 blocks over here. So one of these must be a 6, and therefore one of these must be a 6, and it can't be this cell here because of this 6. So the 6 must go here, and that puts an automatic 6 here. But I have an, no, I don't have a 1. I have a 1 here, here. What do we have down here? Just 4 digits missing, and it's going to be a 4, 2, and 9. 4, 2, and a 3. So this can't be a 3. 4, 2, and a 3. Hang on. 3 comes up here. 3 comes up here, right? 3 comes over here. One of these must be a 3. And therefore, one of these must be a 3. And the 3 blocks this square. So this is a 3. And now one of these is a 3. And we are closing in on a solution, I think. This can't be a 4, so one of these must be a 4, and it can't be this square because of the 4 blocking here. So this is a 4. Now one of these must be a 4. And while I think about that, I seem to remember another digit that had to go up here. It was a 5. Yes. So these have to be a 4 and a 5. Also documented by the fact that we have a 4 and a 5 here and a 4 and a 5 here. We need to have a 4 and a 5 in the top row as well. And the only 2 squares where they can go are here, making these an 8 and a 9. And if these are an 8 and a 9, these must be a 2 and a 7. This must be a 7 or an 8, and so must this. I don't know why I keep wanting to put a 1 here. Because it can also go here. So we got a 5, 8, and a 9 to fill here, here, and here. We got the 9 and the 5, so the 8 must go here, here, or here. That's not a huge help, I think. One important lesson is that when we look at squares like these and we tell ourselves that they have to be a 4 and a 5, it often pays to think about, well, if they are a 4 and a 5, what are these? And one digit that immediately comes to mind is that where can I place a 9 now in this box? These are taken, right? By 4 and 5. This 9 and this 9 block here. This 9 blocks here. So this is a 9. As I said before, it doesn't have to be that complicated. But we should complete our thought process once we think about the 2 digits like this. We also know that we have an 8 here, and they block here and here, so this must be an 8. We know that this is an 8 or a 9, and we also know that this is a 7 or an 8. We now have an 8 in the row, making this a 7 and this an 8. The last digit here has got to be a 2. And these two have to be a 2 and a 4. And that leaves only one cell to find, and that has got to be a 7. And I'm hopeful that I will now be better equipped to solve the rest of the puzzle. Anyway, there is a 7 and a 7 here, and there's a 7 here, and they block all of these 5 squares, making this a 7. I think this is going to be a 4, but what I think is absolutely without merit, because I need to know before I can enter a digit. So sometimes it pays to just slow down and look at the 3s here. They block all of these 4 squares, making this a 3. Now we have the 3 blocking over here and the 3 down here blocking this square, making this a 3. And that makes this a 3, doesn't it? Now we know that a 3 has to go here because these are still a 4 and a 5, and we got these 2 3s blocking here. So this is a 3, and that makes this a 2, the last digit missing in the row, and the last digit missing in the column is going to be a 4. Now we got a 4 blocking over here and the 4 blocking down here, so this is a 4. By the way, before I forget it, I plan to use a special thumbnail for this video. I recently acquired some skills in doing dissipation in my photography editing tool of choice. And I also am studying the Runic alphabet. And so I spelled my own name in runes. You've got to do something with your free time, don't you? Meanwhile, let's look at the 1 coming over here and the 1 coming down here, making this a 1. No, I can't do this. I have to do this. And one of these is now a 1. The other one must be a 2. So 1 and 2 here, making these a 6 and an 8. So if one of these is a 6, then these squares here can't be 6. And we have a 6 blocking this square. Therefore, this must be a 6. But I think I can find more stuff over here. I need to find a 2, 6, and an 8. No, I can't. Oh, yeah, hang on. The 8, one of these is an 8, right? Therefore, this cannot be an 8. But it could be a 2 or a 6. So let's move on. Yes, the 2 is blocking here. Therefore, this is a 2. And therefore, one of these is a 2, and it can't be this cell because of the 2 here. So this is a 2, making this a 2. And now we can find a 4 for this square, and that makes this a 4, and this a 4, and this a 5. This must be a 5, and this therefore a 2. This digit has got to be a 7. A 6 must go here, and therefore here, therefore here. This must be an 8, and therefore this must be an 8. This can only be a 7, and this can only be a 7. We still haven't resolved the 8 and a 9 up here, but I'm sure they will be resolved soon. And actually, they will be resolved now because the only digit missing in the row here is an 8, making this an 8 and this a 9 finally. And therefore, this must be a 9. This is a 1, making this a 1, and this is a 2. A lengthy solve today. It wasn't that difficult, but at least I didn't spend the average of 32 minutes on this puzzle. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.